hitting the ground. Right, if we look at these two setups here then, Jamie, okay, so, oh, wrong one. There we go. So that's now your new setup on the right, that new sequence. We can see now your posture much better. Just a nice softening of the knees there, which I think you do. Yeah, okay. So you're in a much more athletic position. Your arms are hanging down nicely. You've got space now for your arms to swing. Whereas here now, looks in some ways if you're going to play a real small little chip shot of like 10 or 15 yards. Doesn't look very powerful. Doesn't look as athletic. And with the back being that kind of curve there, it's going to be tricky to kind of get any speed, any power. As a result of that now, when you can't really twist as well, all your swing now is basically a lift up with the arms here now. Not really much body rotation. Club's only going back to back here. And then when you sort of swing down now, you sort of try and create some speed with the top half. And I'll show this now with the club just before impact there. You see how the shaft now is kind of through the golf ball. There's kind of the edge of the head. Okay. That position there is going to be very conducive to striking it in this part of the golf club. Because if I'm hitting the ball with the club coming this way, it's going to the middle. If I'm bringing it from over here somewhere, there's a good chance I might catch the hosel there. Okay. And that's the shot you will get when the ball effectively comes off the club face and goes a real like snipe to the right. If it just sort of does this, that's club face and a poor connection with that. But if it's sort of really low and round the corner kind of shot, that's when you catch it right in the hosel shank of the golf club. Okay, so that was the issue there in terms of your swing and setup. If we go back here on the right to your practice, so this is your movement here now. This is the first thing. You can see how you're sort of swaying off the ball. Just look at your shadow there, sort of moving quite a bit laterally here. So there's kind of the edge of your shadow there. And then you kind of move off that quite a bit, okay? So that was a bit exaggerated going back. So we're trying to turn this hip out of the way, as we said, but doing so by rotating, not kind of moving side to side in that way. And that's just, again, a bit of practice. And the one we showed you there, where you put the club across your shoulders here and try to get that sensation you're kind of hitting a golf ball that will be kind of up here somewhere by how the shoulders twist, okay? So you turned back on this one, you stopped and said, was that okay? We then said, no, you've now sort of stood up with your spine. I mean, you can clearly see now, if you go here, your head has risen up 100%, but your head hasn't moved independently, is it? It's the spine angle set up. Now from here, you then tipped forward, so you kind of went back to there, where you wanted to be. So that would be ideal, and then we can come back to the ground, the club can reach the ground. Then the next two or three were actually better there, you can see now. So we're rotating better. The edge of your shadow kind of stays just on the edge of the golf ball. Length of back is a lot greater. Okay, so you're turning now with your shoulders a bit more on an angle, okay? In an ideal world, they could be a little bit more. But at the moment now, you're kind of, without being rude, you're close enough to where you need to be. Any more, I mean, it feels a bit awkward now anyway. So just go there, and in time, you'll gradually be a little bit more tilted over the golf ball there. So you make 3 or 4 practice swings, kind of feeling that motion as you swing back, swinging through. Then when we step to the golf ball, we go through the sequence there. So put the sort of left hand on first, making sure we can sort of see the 2 knuckles of that left hand. Your thumb you'll see is off to the side on the right slightly. Then your right hand's going to come on the grip underneath there, so the shoulder sort of slightly tilted, and then we just set our feet into that good posture that we can now see at address. And swing wise now, just that trigger of that right hip now, moving that right hip out of the way. As we go back, we can see that right hip now moving pretty much straight away there. Good. So a nice turn of the body, club goes up there, you're still maintaining a fairly good tilt with your spine angle. There's your posture and maintained. As we come back to the golf ball, we're not too far off that. Look at the club position. If I go back to the frame there, see how the shaft now is on this side of the golf ball, yeah? Compared to where this one was, dumping the club over the top, trying to whack it that way. See the difference there?
Yeah.
That one's going to cause potentially hitting them right on that corner part of the club and shunk. Or, even if you catch the middle, you're going to be coming across the ball this, which imparts that left to right spin. With a 7 or 8 or a 9, you get away with it. It goes higher. With the driver, lost ball, goodbye. Okay? And then as a result of your kind of original posture being a little bit hunched, when you swung through, wasn't really much twisting with the lower half at all, compared to starting to get that leg to move now, yeah? Hips are starting to move, and there's a bit more movement through the golf ball. Again, it was a reasonable strike, okay? Hitting the screen there. Yeah, it's got a bit off to the right there. But like I said, at the moment, this was one of your okay shots. You've hit some better ones after this, to be fair, where you kind of just sort of figure out where the club and the ball is. So you're not thinking about how we adjust the club face. You're just working the body better, and instincts and intuition is kind of taking over. And that's what we want the game of golf to be, not be too much sort of thinking about the golf swing. I mean, if you think when the golf swing starts here now, we'll start, say, 24... 24-7-5 kind of thing. So 24.75, you're starting the downswing here already. At 25.75 you started down, at impact you're 26.01, so 1.4 seconds. Yeah. Not a lot you can think about in that time. So have a trigger word on the way back, that's fine. Have plenty of thinking in your setup because you're static, and have loads of thinking in here, trying to move into that position from here to there. That's changing your head position, not by moving your head, but by moving your spine and your body, yeah? Understanding that head doesn't lift, so keep your head down as a load of codswallop, right? This is when you can do a load of thinking up here. You can think about how the swing works. Am I there? My arms going up high enough? Moving here, watching shadows. This is your thinking, practicing, preparing time, yeah? Do all that stuff for a shot. Once you get here now, you prepare for it with a setup, which in time will become quicker. And then 3, 2, 1, hit the golf ball. Off you go and find it, yeah? Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Good stuff. Very good, mate. Well done.